Guys, I have said a couple of times now, all right, if you build it, they will come, okay? The reality of the situation is that if you say, hey, listen, I'm going to go ahead and put a lot of money into a fund and then give you a card that you can do whatever you want with, basically, right? No one said it was going to be anything like an EBT card that basically locks like very specific, not grocery stores, but like stores out of the system, so you can't go to Best Buy with like a food card and get things. No, it's just a pure debit card that's being given, guys. All right, so what we do know is that roughly $2.6 million is being put into this fund, right? And they've already done this. This is going to be the second time now, okay? But it was done to only about 3,000 migrants, right? This time around, it's going to be 7,300 migrants over the next 6 months. Now, my main gripe here, I'd say here, based off of reading this article here, which we'll go over in a second here, and my main gripe is that not all immigrants, not specifically migrants, not all migrants are coming are from or are Hispanic in nature, let's say, right? They're not. But the overwhelming majority of migrants that are coming, they're coming from Venezuela. And what we do know about Venezuela, based off of another previous video, right, is that the average household income in Venezuela roughly generates about $175 a month, US, okay? This card is giving them $350 a month, US. And with that being said, imagine if you are in a faraway land, okay, and you have to work, do all this backbreaking labor, right, just to literally come up with the sum of $175. And you were told, hey, listen, come here, do nothing, basically, and we'll give you $350. Now, obviously, this is not a lot of money. Okay, not in the United States of America. It's just not a lot of money. It doesn't go far at all, right? That's the reality of the situation, but this is just what they're doing. So when I say earlier in the video, if you build it, they will come. Bro, you're doing that, right? I mean, obviously, let's read this really quickly. So critics of this project that's going on here currently are arguing that debit cards are fundamentally unfair to the city's working poor. Absolutely. Like, there are people in the United States of America, if you want to create some type of universal basic income, which many people are against in the first place, right? But if you do want to do that, you should probably be looking to do it for the people who pay into the tax code or are Americans who are extremely impoverished, right? They're the ones that actually need this thing, right? And obviously they don't receive similar benefits from the city, okay? And so they're arguing basically that the city's right to shelter law, which requires it to provide housing, food, and other necessities, coupled with the city's sanctuary policy, in cooperation with immigration crackdowns, are drawing record numbers of migrants to the city. The reality is, if you build it, they will come. Right? Like, if you keep promoting to the world that you are a sanctuary city, you can't be surprised if the world then wants to come to your city, specifically if you're now giving them free money, right? You're giving them free money, and while at the same time making people locally absolutely strongly detest the fact that you're doing that. Right? Because of course you're going to get, let's say, Bob across the street that sees this and he's like, listen, I can't afford to do anything. I'm not getting any assistance, but you're giving these people who are coming here because you told them to come here because you're flashing money around, right? This is crazy, guys. But let's do this here for a second. Hold on. Let's go ahead and I have a video pulled up. Let's go ahead and jump into that video, guys. All right, let's see if we can here we go. Let's check it out.
Here's something we followed a lot. Cash grab for migrants. New York City officials dramatically expanding a controversial program which would give another round of prepaid debit cards to 7,300 migrants over the next 6 months, costing the city upwards of $2.6 million. Now, the program previously gave these cards to 3,000 migrants. Deputy Mayor for Health and Human Services Ann Williams-Issam says the program allows newly arriving families the ability to, quote, buy from local shops, support small businesses, and manage their own resources. When we empower people, we help them achieve self-sufficiency and access the American dream. Mayor Adams defends.
Americans can't access the American dream right now, currently. Right? So you can't just simply say, hey, listen, we can give you this small amount of money, and this is going to allow you to access the American dream. Like, what is the American dream defined as these days? So, I mean, I get it. It's changed so drastically over the last 2 decades. It used to be owning a house with a white picket fence, 2 kids and a dog. But now the average American can afford a house at all. They get a down payment for a house. So when you say having access to the American dream, what is that? What is currently the American dream? Being able to afford food?
Defending the program, claiming it's, quote, cost savings measure that temporarily replaces the Big Apple's existing system of providing non-perishable food boxes to migrant families staying in hotels and other city-funded shelters. The spending just goes on. And Cheryl, I got to tell you, I think it's interesting they're posting this as, an answer the migrant crisis, yes, but a solution for small business. And just one note on the spending, $4.7 billion of migrant spending equals, which is what they're doing, 14% of salaries and wages for all city employees. So it's grown and grown and grown.
Right. So, Joe, you say that this is fundamentally unfair to the city's working poor who don't receive similar benefits from the city.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, no one else in the city who happens to be poor, whether you're born in a foreign country, whether you immigrated legally here, is getting this type of focus and service. I mean, it is hard for someone to get enrolled in Medicare, in welfare programs, food stamps, and things like that. It's not simple to do. And yet this population, 2 years ago, we decided to open the doors. And by the way, it is cost saving to give these people these cards now. That's not a falsehood. We just spent so many millions and billions, really, dollars in wasteful no-bid contracts where we just had these contracting companies open up hotels, provide them with every meal, every resources. This is how the cost went exponentially higher than anything we've ever seen before. You said $4.7 billion.
Oh, I thought he was going to kind of flush that out. Here's what happened, guys. So yeah, all these hotels opened up and closed down, basically tanked their rankings on the international stage, let's say, right? Because a lot of people are not going to go to these hotels any longer. Why? Because now they're ranked terribly. They're going to have to redo everything in that place for these people to go back to, at least for tourists to actually enjoy their establishments. But the problem here is that when these hotels were feeding them, they basically were like, I don't like this food. This is not the food I've known my entire life. Bro, you're in a different country, right? You cannot expect for us to meet your exact need. Were they wasting food? Tremendously, they were wasting food. All right. And so basically what he's saying here is that the money that is being put onto these cards were basically the money that they were spending anyway. Then, okay, I guess that would probably be slightly cheaper and less food waste, like honestly, less disrespect. Okay. Because the amount of times we saw food outside of these hotels that could have went to feed the homeless, and they were just thrown in the trash, like unopened bottles of milk, right? And just completely catered trays, not touched because they said, this food messes with my stomach, type of thing, right? It's not what you're used to eating. We know that, right? But let's continue.
Open up hotels, provide them with every meal, every resources. This is how the cost went exponentially higher than anything we've ever seen before. You said $4.7 billion. That's more money spent on the migrant crisis next year than all of the fire trucks, all of the garbage trucks, all of the firefighters, the sanitation workers, the EMTs, all the people that make our city work. It costs less to run that than it does solve, quote unquote, solve this problem.
John.
I have something to add. There are a number of op-ed pieces. There's some academics, some former Democratic Party officials that claim the reason why we have stronger than expected economic growth is because of illegal immigration. Well, they're right, but the reality is it's the government funding of the illegal immigration that's benefiting from the economy. That's the important point. It's not the migrants or whatever, it's government spending.
Well, there's a Wall Street Journal piece out that says blue states exodus continues, and it talks about New York behind California, that New York State has lost, lost income and lost funding and lost residents because of blue state policies. California, number one, but all these cities dealing with migrants into these blue cities.
Of course. How many people would sit here and just be openly disrespected after paying into a tax system that completely ignores them, ignores their actual needs. Oh, we need a park. No, we don't have money for the park. But yet you instantly had money to build a migrant shelter? Come on, bro. You instantly found money to put $2.6 million onto debit cards? Come on, bro. All right. Like, how much longer do you think people are going to want to put up with that? Of course, people are leaving, right? But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.